We've got work to do.
Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another Doctor Who news video. Today we've got quite the interesting topics to discuss. It's Easter Day and thanks to the wonderful Russell T Davies and people at the BBC and I suppose Disney Plus as well, we have 101 news stories to jump into. We've got a full new trailer to look at and break down shot by shot, which I'm going to do shortly, but first we have a new casting announcement for Season 1 of Shooting Outwards' new era. Golda Roshjuvel, I have probably butchered your name, so sorry, but she is jumping aboard the TARDIS as a character called Jocelyn, I think, in episode 1. So yeah, we can see here from this article that she joins Doctor Who as Jocelyn, who is the first Doctor and Ruby collide in their first adventure. You get the gist. We also have the episode titles, so I'm assuming by this promo photo of her, she is going to sort of be the one looking after the space babies, maybe? There's a bunch of monitors behind her, maybe it's like a monitor per baby. We'll have to count how many space babies there are in the room in the trailer. But we've got a quote from Russell here. Before we move into the episode titles, it's been amazing to see the whole world appreciate Golda's talents because of Bridgerton. And it's been an absolute joy to invite her to Cardiff to help her launch Shooty and Millie's first season. So yeah, I have never seen this actress act, but I've seen people on Twitter getting excited. I've heard Bridgerton's good as well. It gets a name drop in the trailer again. That's 2 Bridgerton name drops, but yeah, excited to see that. Here are our episode titles. Episode 1, as I've already kind of given away, Space Babies, written by Russell T Davies and directed by Julie Ann Robinson. That's exciting. We don't really know much about it other than I think there's talking space babies in it. That's literally, you know as much as I do here. Talking space babies, written by Russell T Davies. It's episode 1. And you could almost make a rhyme out of that. Space Babies, written by Russell T Davies. It's more of a rap. Someone write a Space Babies, Russell T Davies rap in the comments down below. And if it's brilliant, I'll do nothing but appreciate it. Yeah, Space Babies. We know the monster for this episode, I think, is called the Bogeyman. And somewhere on Twitter you can find out who performed in him. The first mention we got of the Bogeyman was in the Russell T Davies Imagine documentary back in December, but they blurred it out. However, we have seen it in the trailer, and I will point out which monster this is when we break down the second trailer, because he gets another appearance. But that brings us to episode 2, The Devils Chord, the musical episode. How musical this episode is remains to be seen, but we know there's at least one humongous musical number, because as I keep saying, it's in the trailer, left, right and centre. We even have the Doctor singing at the microphone in the new trailer, which, oh, I'm excited to see. It's directed by Ben Chessel as well. I think he's a new director for Doctor Who, which is exciting. Yeah, this is the Beatles episode as well, Jinx Monsoon as the villain. Then Boom, written by Stephen Moffat. I still can't quite believe I'm actually reading that. Stephen Moffat is back, and so is Russell T Davies. It's like a dream come true for Doctor Who fans. But yeah, it's directed by Julie Ann Robinson, who is the same director as episode 1. That's quite cool. Yeah, in terms of Boom, we know there's a boom, or maybe there's not a boom, because we know... I'll talk you through what we know. The Doctor steps on a landmine, and I presume it either doesn't go boom or does, because those are the sort of, you know, the 2 outcomes of landmines. But it may be a slightly Doctor Light episode, or an episode all set in one area. It's that futuristic battlefield. Once again, I'll point it out when we get to the trailer. Episode 4, once again written by Russell T Davies, directed by Dylan Home Williams, is 73 yards. We don't know anything, really. We know the shots in the trailer of the deceased-looking TARDIS, the TARDIS on the cliff sort of rotting away, and Shooty in his orange beanie, orange raincoat, kind of looking like Paddington Bear, but with brighter colours. Yeah, we've seen... they're from this episode. Once again, when we get to the trailer, I'll break it down and give some theories, because right now, we don't really know anything. There's an old pub, and that's all we've got. Episode 5, Dot and Bubble, once again written by Russell and directed by Dylan Holmes Williams. Is this a 2-parter? Potentially, I reckon it may be a loose two-parter. It's directed by and written by the same people, but then again, as I've pointed out, episode 1 and 3, that's also directed by the same person. That doesn't mean it's a two-parter. So maybe it's a two-parter. Probably not, though, because there's only 8 episodes. Speaking of which, we'll move on to episode 6. Written by Kate Herron and Bryony Redman, directed by Ben Chessel. Yeah, Rogue. This is the Regency era episode, the episode that keeps getting compared to the show Bridgerton. There's, I think, like bird people in it from the first trailer. The actress who played Susie Costello in Torchwood, she is, I think, playing a character called the Duchess, who we think is the villain of Rogue. We don't really know. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything. Once again, break it down in the trailer. Then we get on to the finale, the explosive 2-part season finale. Part 1, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, written by Russell T Davies and directed by Jamie Donogue? Kylie Minogue's brother. Once again, can't pronounce surnames. Apologies. But Legend of Ruby Sunday, I reckon we're going to find out her origins here. We're gonna figure out who Ruby is, finally. Yeah, I'm excited. And I reckon it's gonna be Daleks. It's gonna be a Dalek 2-parter because the final episode, I don't know why I'm doing this so dramatically, Empire of Death, written by Russell T Davies. That could very easily be Empire of Daleks, but they've changed it so we don't get spoiled. Probably Empire of Death will be the one in the title sequence, because otherwise it would be a spoiler, unless Legend of Ruby Sunday has Daleks in as well. But yeah, this is the Doctor going to unit, all of that coming to a head. I reckon Dalek 2-parter set in the Roswell incident way back in America, which makes sense for a new, like, American audience with Disney+. Yeah, there's Daleks. I'm putting my money on Daleks. I could be wrong, we haven't seen any Daleks in the trailer, but I'm putting my money on Daleks. And it's not officially announced, but I can probably 90% sure give you the title of the Christmas special as well, which will be titled Joy to the World, and written by Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies, or just Stephen Moffat. We don't know yet, but Moffat said a while back in a little quote, he was like, boom, and then joy to the world, like in a separate sentence. But boom, that was one title, so joy to the world, that makes so much sense to be a Christmas special, especially if the main character is called Joy or something. That's a very Stephen Moffat thing to do. So those are our episode titles for season 1 and the Christmas special. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll now dive into this big trailer breakdown. So, shot 1. I think this is probably kind of like, you know, the trailers where they're like, oh, the trip of a lifetime for the Eccleston era. It's kind of like that. I don't think these will be in an episode, but yeah.
You ready for this?
I am ready for this. Yeah, just shoot your gap. We're in a TARDIS corridor, which I don't think we actually saw open in the 60th or Church on Ruby Road, so that's quite funky. But yeah, that's piece to camera. I don't think that'll be in an actual episode. Then we have that unit shot. We discussed that in the last video. If you want to watch my other trailer breakdown video, feel free, it's on the channel. I'll also just say now, please subscribe if you like Doctor Who. This is the place to be. I'm covering everything. I'm also doing like tier lists, which if you haven't watched, go and watch them. So that shot there, Devils Chord, not too much to say. This shot, once again, there's not too much to say because I think either something's gone wrong with Ruby or something's gone wrong with the TARDIS, or it could just be a case of the Doctor's driving being appalling, but he's materialising inside the flat. I don't think this is from the finale because if you look on the cupboards, you can see Christmas decorations, so I reckon this is probably from relatively early on in the season. Yeah, I reckon it's relatively early on in the season, after the Church on Ruby Road, probably the first time he brings Ruby back, so I don't know why he's decided to materialise in the thing. It's either urgent or bad driving, or the TARDIS is evil and gone wrong. Check out the theory video. Here we've seen the shot already, and also the colour grading is actually properly done this time for the second trailer, unlike in the first trailer, which is very nice because it looks a lot more vibrant now. But yeah, give me the lovin'. And we now know that he's talking to Rose Noble when he says this line. So I think this is from the finale, judging by the costumes and the returning characters. So yeah, this is Donna's daughter from the 60th come back. That quick shot there was episode 2. I think, yeah, it's the Beatles episode where he's winking at the camera. Where's it gone? Yeah, that's from the Beatles episode, Devils Chord. Then this is interesting. I think maybe finale, once, because Shooty's costume, and I think Rose is in that room as well. You can also see Kate Stewart there. That looks like a proper Doctor getting ready scene, like a proper, this is the moment. Shooty's established himself as the Doctor. We're at the end of the season. Big evil Dalek swarm or something bad is going to happen in the finale, and Shooty is there to stop it alongside Unit. Then, is that a button or the landmine? Let's go slower. It's stay back. So is he sacrificing himself? No, he sounds too happy for that. Let me know your theories on what's happening in Unit there. So yeah, this is some form of button. I think from Boom, the Stephen Moffat episode 3. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's de-arming the landmine that we've seen him step on in the first trailer. But yeah, this is from Boom. Or no, actually, no, I'm being stupid. That's the TARDIS. The green light threw me off. Look, I'm an idiot. I'm wrong. You can see the roundels on the walls. That's a piece of the TARDIS that he's whacking. I was theorising way too much about that. Because then, yeah, there you go. Anti-mavity/gravity stuff going on. TARDIS whooshing through the vortex. Now this is incredibly intriguing. My first thought, if you've seen my trailer reaction video, was Gallifrey, because it's got a dome around it, but I reckon it's not. This is going to be from Bubble and Spot, or Spot and Bubble, whatever that episode's called. Episode 5, I think. Yeah, I reckon it's some sort of futuristic city. I don't know why it's in a bubble. Does it need protection? Are there aliens living there? I can't really, you can't zoom in too much and make out what's in the city, but it looks quite cool. It looks very futuristic, very sci-fi, and I think it's matching up with this shot of them leaving the TARDIS. I'm going to put the trailer in a slower speed so that I can actually, view it properly. So that's them leaving the TARDIS. I say that and then I missed it, but yeah, so alien landscape, I think this is them viewing the city. They've materialised on this cliff face, look over and view the city. This also seems to be where the TARDIS gets left and abandoned and becomes all old and dysfunctional from the other trailer. But yeah, the Doctor and Ruby arrive, and he's wearing his beanie, weird outfit. It's the only outfit of Shooty's Doctor I'm not really sold on, is that orange one and the hat, but we haven't seen it in motion. Maybe it will flow in the episode. Then, yeah, this is from the Devil's Chord. You can see Big Ben in the background in London. This is the Devil's Chord as well. This is going to be the musical number. Maybe they use a musical number to defeat Jinx Monsoon as the villain, something like that. I don't know. There's definitely going to be a huge theme of music, and music I think will save the day, whether it's Ruby doing something like playing her own theme on the piano, for example, because Murray Gold mentioned that happens at some point in the series. I reckon, yeah, music is going to overcome the villain. This, I think, is probably episode 1, judging by Ruby's costume. And yeah, there's little space babies in those tanks. I don't know what on earth the space babies are or why they're there. I've got a little theory on the bogeyman and the babies. Maybe it's someone is creating these really hyper-intelligent babies that can talk, because I'm pretty sure the baby talks in this trailer. They're creating these hyper-intelligent space babies, like a new race, whatever, and because kids and babies have nightmares and stuff, the bogeyman is one of their nightmares or something, and it comes into reality. It's sort of base under siege, futuristic spaceship, jettisons the TARDIS, that sort of thing. The Doctor and Ruby have to try and save hyper-intelligent babies, and then I don't know, that's just the rough idea for the episode. That's just my theory. But yeah, this is kind of resembling End of the World with Rose looking out over Earth as well, which is quite nice. Then we have the Bridgerton episode, episode 6, I think, the Regency one. Yeah, it's episode 6. And this character, it's intriguing. I've seen a lot of people theorise that this is a recasting of Captain Jack Harkness, because obviously, well, 1, John Barrowman's quite a lot older now, and 2, there's all those controversies surrounding him, so I don't think the BBC are going to work with him again. People are suggesting, because I think he's a time agent, or there's rumoured to be a time agent in this episode, that this guy, played by Jonathan Groff, is a recasting of Captain Jack. I don't know whether I agree. I might make a separate video on it. Let me know in the comments whether you want me to delve into this fully. But he's a new character who, I don't know, I'm kind of getting the vibe that him and the Doctor maybe have a little romance or a little thing going on, judging by the way they're sort of, like, I can't tell whether that's suspicion or riz. Suspicion or riz? Let me know in the comments. I think maybe it's a bit of both from Shooty, because he's a very charismatic man. Then yeah, here we get Ruby saying so, Bridgerton. Very funny. That shot there actually is from, in the trailer, she grabs one of those books and whacks the camera or whacks something. I don't know what it's going to be, or if maybe she's under attack here, or yeah, something intriguing is going on in this episode. I can't figure out what, and the villains of it are those bird people. I think this is episode 3, that shot of Ruby looking tearful. I think this has got to be episode 1. Like, I reckon they go to the place where Ruby steps on a butterfly. The Doctor saves the butterfly in true Doctor fashion. Then we hear that line in the trailer where he's like, let's turn on the randomizer. They turn on the randomizer and end up on this space station. This is Ruby stepping out of the TARDIS onto her first spaceship, I reckon. This is later on in episode 1. I don't know where or why the Doctor loses his coat, but he does. I think Ruby's just smacking the pipe. I don't know why. Yeah, there's more Bridgerton. Yeah, she's calling Ruby brave, rude, you know, character description stuff. There's Ruby pulling a rude face, I guess. Then you get a nice moment from episode 1 here. He makes it worse. I don't know what he's making worse. Probably something going wrong with the space station and he's trying to fix it. I reckon this here is either the ending of episode 1 or beginning of episode 2. After their adventure with the space babies, that wraps up wholesomely, space babies are saved, and then Ruby's like, well, the Doctor says, okay, your choice, we've done a random thing, ended in a little bit of a disaster, where do you want to go? Ruby goes, I'm a fan of the Beatles, and then here they are on Abbey Road. That is such a cool shot. Any extreme Beatles fans, let me know in the comments if they've recreated that exactly. I think that car and van are definitely the right ones. But yeah, it definitely looks like Ruby Road. What? Abbey Road. Slipped my mind there. Very exciting stuff to see. Then I think this is probably the space station from Space Babies. Episode 1, this is where the TARDIS goes. This is going to be episode 1 footage as well. Is that a baby speaking? I think it is. Its mouth is moving. Like, is this... I don't know. I really can't tell. Let me know in the comments whether I'm just looking into it a bit too much, but I think... Space Babies. I don't know. What does it say on there? It's too pixelated. I don't know. There's some... Yeah, there's a weird experiment going on here with the Space Babies. It's like a nice little nursery. It's kind of giving Stranger Things, like when they've got all the... like 11 and those other children that they're experimenting on. Maybe it's something like that, but a little bit more wholesome. They have blue lights on the side of their, like, pushchair things. Some of them are on, some of them aren't. I don't really know. Maybe that signifies which one's talking. Something like that. Maybe they talk through their minds rather than necessarily opening their mouths fully. But yeah. I think that's Ruby covered in slime, probably from the Bogeyman. Then this is going to be episode 1 as well. There's a lot of footage from episode 1 here. That's insane. Aha! This episode, I think this is the episode kind of described as Black Mirror. Now, this blonde woman with a very unusual haircut has shown up quite a couple of times now. I think this is her third appearance in a trailer, which is interesting because I at first thought maybe she's just sort of an extra, but I reckon she's going to be like, not a companion, but like a sub-character for this episode. I think this is the Bubble and Dot episode. It looks kind of Black Mirror-y. I reckon maybe it's a dystopian future or an alternate timeline, but the hair is, I don't know. It's not old. There's new technology surrounding her. Something interesting's going on here. Maybe parallel world. Yeah, here we go. This is probably, I think it's a POV shot from her eyes, because I think all that tech floating around her, she's got contacts in, or maybe it's like a chip in your brain, but yeah, this is saying forward and pointing towards the slug. We've seen from photos and filming images that people literally just walk inside the slug and it sort of goes like that around them and it's all weird and creepy. I don't really have a theory on what this is, but Dystopian, weird, cool. Maybe these aliens have taken over the planet, implemented this technology. They're controlling people through microchips because, I mean, it's relevant at the moment with Elon Musk and all his microchip experiment stuff. This is episode 2. Something's going wrong with the TARDIS. Probably stuff goes wrong with it before they go to that destroyed version of London we saw in trailer 1. Here's more stuff from episode 1, the Doctor and Ruby running from this is the bogeyman. It really is giving Stranger Things, in my opinion. Like that's so Demogorgon-y with like the open face, and it's all slimy and grim. So I reckon it like screams at Ruby, and she gets covered in whatever gunk is coming from that. Episode 3 here, or the finale? I think episode 3. I think this is right before the Doctor steps on a landmine, or maybe this is Ruby's realisation that the Doctor's just stepped on a landmine. Yeah, because she does look quite panicked. I don't think she could fly the TARDIS home. This is an interesting line from the Doctor where he says something about, this is what we're trying to stop, all of life going extinct, all of life being destroyed. Is that just like an episode thing, or is that maybe the season arc? It's kind of reminiscent of the Flux. I don't think we'd go back to the Flux. I don't think it's like, oh no, the Flux is back and better than ever. But something's definitely going down. It's intriguing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Then we get Carla, Ruby's mum, having that conversation she had with the Doctor in the last trailer where he promises that he's going to keep Ruby safe. And I reckon he will. She's going to be all right. Like, maybe she's not. But at least in this season, I think she's gonna make it. She's not gonna die. And if she does die, we'll get some reverse time, cool stuff. Yeah, close-up shot of Ruby. I'm not sure what episode that's from. This is episode 3, and this is going to be his I am the Doctor moment. This is going to be his moment, I think, where he, like Matt Smith gets it in the 11th hour, where he steps through the hologram, says to the Atraxi, basically, run. David Tennant gets it as soon as he's smelled the tea, walks out the TARDIS, and boom, faces down the Sycorax, saves the world in his Jim Jams. I mean, Shooty was brilliant in the giggle. He already kind of has had this moment, but I think for the new season, establishing it to a new audience who haven't necessarily watched the 60th, I reckon he's going to have the speech that we hear over this stuff in episode 3. Like, he's crying as well when he steps on the landmine. Maybe it's a trap, maybe it's a plan. I think he's going to say, like, look, I'm the Doctor, I'm going to win. Boom. Boom. Episode 3. I don't know. Let me know your theories on what that speech is in the comments, because it sounds a little bit sinister as well, because he's very threatening. Here's more episode 1 stuff. I like that we're getting a lot of stuff from episode 1, because it's not going to spoil the entire season. This is definitely the finale. You can see in the middle the Doctor and Mel on a motorbike escaping whatever devastation this is. That smoke stuff kind of looks similar to the planets that seem to be being destroyed when Shooty's saying about it's our job to stop this destruction. Maybe it is a flux type smoke, or maybe it is just smoke and I'm looking into it too much. Here is Jinx Monsoon, the villain of the Devils Chord, saying you called. So I reckon, that they've written a musical number with the Beatles or something, and they've got to defeat her by playing a brilliant song, outmatching her musically. Maybe it's like a freestyle thing and she has to lose, kind of similar to how the Toymaker, you just play a game until you win. I think Russell has talked as well about in the giggle, the Toymaker says, my legions are coming. Russell has mentioned that the goblins were kind of one of those legions. Jinx Monsoon is definitely a god-type musical creature who is one of those legions that the Toymaker sent. So I reckon, she shows up, turns the Beatles into their instruments, or traps them in their instruments, or wipes them from time. The Doctor and Ruby have to write a banging musical number to save the world. They perform it to her, or something goes wrong. But I'm very excited for this episode. Here's more from episode 2. She's in Abbey Studios. This is episode 3, the battlefield stuff with Stephen Moffat. Here's Shooty's speech. I will shatter this. Da, 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 da. I think this shot is from the finale. Maybe it's after he thinks he's lost Ruby. Maybe he's dropped her at home. He's lost the leather jacket, but the Doctor looks serious here. This is like Time Lord Victorious type Doctor, which I am very excited for. Into dust. Maybe, I don't know, could it be Doctor versus Doctor, like an evil Doctor, evil TARDIS kind of thing? If that's waffle, I don't know. Let me know any theories you have in the comments. Here's more episode 2 stuff. There's so many cinematic shots as well. Like, the budget for this is insane. There's Ruby entering the TARDIS for the first time, TARDIS materialising on that cliff. This, I think, is right before Ruby steps on the butterfly from episode 1. We've jumped back a bit. Yeah, there we go. All the dinosaurs and stuff. Doctor running through Abbey Road. This is the character, as I said earlier, people are kind of saying maybe it's Jack Harkness. I don't think it is, but there is something. He's not from this time period. He's got a sci-fi laser gun. Like, come on. He's definitely someone time agenty or suspicious or evil, or maybe this is him turning on the Doctor. Maybe I am right, and him and the Doctor have a little bit of a romance thing going on. Then he betrays the Doctor, and that's why in the first trailer the Doctor shouts like, "You cad!" at him, because, I don't know, he's pulling a gun on him. There's the landmine. This is Boom, episode 3. The Doctor is realising, oh dear, I'm stuck. This snow, what is the snow? I think it shows up in most episodes. Like, what episode is this? Maybe the finale? But she's in some sort of sci-fi-esque place, unless those are Christmas lights that are blurred. But yeah, that snow seems to be sort of following the Doctor and Ruby. Because I think, is it in the Devils Chord shot as well? Yeah, look, there's snow falling down there while Ruby is trapped in the musical notes via probably Jinx Monsoon's evil magic of doom, Space Baby Station. This shot we saw ages ago from the, I think it was in the 60th anniversary trailer, but I think it's from the finale. I don't know where the Doctors stood. They could have obviously replaced the background, but it's kind of giving Gallifrey at the moment, and he seems to be in the black leather jacket, so yeah, I reckon maybe there's something to that being, like, he finally gets back to Gallifrey at the end or something, because he does talk about his home in this. Here we go, this is the Doctor singing. Has she got Mickey Mouse? No, that's a bow in her hair. I thought for a second that was like Mickey Mouse ears, which would have been very funny, but yeah, the Doctor singing, actually singing, is kind of mad. There's the butterfly. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but Ruby doesn't kill the butterfly. The Doctor will fix history however he does that. I don't know, but I reckon that's right at the start of episode 1, just like showing the audience, time travel show, the Doctor can change time. Time's going to get played within this season. Butterfly leaves. More musical number stuff in the rain, apparently. Then we have that shot of the Doctor from the Bubble episode. Maybe that's him going back to the TARDIS at the end after it's been left there for loads of years or something along those lines. There's the snow again. This is from the finale, I think. And another little piece to camera from Shooty. I wonder, maybe he will break the fourth wall. We've already had a fourth wall break in the church on Ruby Road. I don't reckon he's going to break the fourth wall in the actual series, though, because, what would be the point? What would be the purpose? Maybe he will, but I think it's unlikely. But yeah, that is my trailer breakdown. Those are the titles of the new season. If you did enjoy this video, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. This channel is the place for all the Doctor Who goodness that you could possibly ever want. So make sure you subscribe, it really helps me out. Share the video as well if you enjoyed. I'll stop waffling, you can follow my socials, they're all in the description down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!